So BJP government is saying that there is no harm for any Indian citizens in CAA, NPR and NRC. But still they are telling that NRC has not been discussed yet and they are going with NPR only. So coming from administrative background, what do you think, what is government up to? Like, how do you analyze the thing?
The whole confusion, you should understand, that was brought in by Mr. Amit Shah only, when he said that he explained to the entire country that the chronology of the process is that first he will bring the Citizenship Amendment Act and then he will do the NRC. And NPR is nothing but a process of NRC. NPR is just the first step of NRC. So we should not see NRC and NPR in a separate way. It is a one and the same process. Then it is in that context that initially Citizenship Amendment Act was brought in. And then they are saying that no Indian citizen have to worry about Citizenship Amendment Act. Then it's a very simple question that the government has to answer, that who is an Indian citizen? And and how are you going to find that who is an Indian citizen? And this question they will have to answer. And their answer to that question is pretty much NRC. So this is the loop in which they are now stuck. If they do this, if it is going to be beneficial to some, even I don't know even how it is going to be beneficial to anybody, because people also have to prove that they came here through religious persecution and they came from Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, etc., which is very difficult for anybody to prove, and the religious persecution is also very difficult to prove. So as of now, it is just a exercise which helps none, but had a target of harassing a lot of population. For now, they are saying it is not going to be completed, but there is absolutely no trust with what the government is saying. And they will do the NPR, and after the NPR is done, they don't need to do an explicit NRC. They can pick and choose the NRC as and when they want. And that is why they are saying we are not even discussed about NRC. The government has not gone back on the NRC part. They are just saying that we'll do NPR. By back door, they'll do the NPR.
You resigned after freedom of expression being curbed in Kashmir. So you said that it is against the Constitution of India. How do you see today's Supreme Court verdict?
So while it is welcoming that the government has upheld that whatever is being violated there is a fundamental right. That is the first thing. That the freedom of expression and freedom of expression through internet is the same. It's a part of freedom of expression and it is a fundamental right. And the government, any steps to curtail it should be proportional, and the proportionality test should be cleared. So while it is a theoretically very welcoming judgment, there was also a hope for a specific remedy and a relief from the Supreme Court on the matter, which has unfortunately not happened. So if this was only to ask the committee to review, the review committee to review the bans, they could have done it much earlier. They didn't have to wait for 2 months. After 2 months, you are expecting Supreme Court to also, not only the theoretical background, but also give a definite judgment on the actual blackout in Kashmir. So at one step it is welcoming, but at the same time, on a realistic manner, on a real issue manner, it is disappointing.
So far, the government has not burst down to any of the protests. So you can see in UP or in Mangalore, 2 people were died, and UP more than 25 people lost their lives. So even the students are protesting, and the protest is happening in bits and pieces. So in a larger perspective, like in a larger narrative, how do you see this protest? Do they need a centralized leader, or how they can centralize their protest?
I don't think there is a need to centralize. The leadership is coming from within the cities. The calls are coming from within district subdivisions. Students are coming out because it is a cause that they concern. It is not because a leader is calling them and they are coming out. It's not like that. And that is, I think, the true democracy about it. It is not a person controlling the whole narrative. Nobody can control this this movement, nor the government, nor any person on any front. The only way to control it is to actually say, get back, repeal the Citizenship Amendment Act, and also to go back on the NPR and the NRC process. I don't think there is a need to centralize it. Of course, there will always be an attempts to centralize it, and those attempts will become a part of one side, and the movements would continue. The movement, as we say, is happening all across the country. It might not be visible in many places. In Bangalore, it will be visible today, and then for 3 days, it will look like everything is normal, and then it will again come up another day. And such events are happening all across the country, and government is aware of it. It's not that it is not aware of it. And I would be, this thing uncharitable by saying that there is no success of the movement. The mere fact that students and youth are out there and asserting their constitutional rights, fundamental rights, and saying that this is our constitution, this is the idea of India that we are fighting for, is so hopeful for all of us, because they are going to lead the country, not the current lot who are in the power. They are going to lead the country in the next 10 years, 20 years time. They are talking on constitutional principles and fighting for it, or they're learning democratic and breathing the democratic air. The Muslims are asserting the Muslimness and the Indianness together and saying that why should we hide our identity to claim our Indianness? It's not required. So a lot of questions, fundamental questions, are being asked and answered during this movement, irrespective of that CAA, NRC, that limited part. And then the Citizenship Amendment Act and NRC, the first thing is that Prime Minister is saying, I haven't even discussed about NRC. It's a clear-cut step that the government is, it might not be truthful, but it is at least forced to posture that they are not going ahead with it as of now. But there is absolutely no trust with the government as of now. So Amit Shah is now trying to explain that why the government is doing that. Is democracy. He should come out and explain more. And his own irresponsible statements are the reason why we are in the soup today. And government has not. If the government had at least had thought through the whole process, we wouldn't have been in this stage at all.
Pre-budget meeting was there, and Prime Minister called a meeting with the industrialists and other bureaucrats and all.
There is a cardiologist also.
And the thing is, Home Minister was present at the meeting, but Finance Minister was missing.
It's okay. I don't think in this government ministers have any particular role. They are just there to be as spokespersons. So the entire actual whatever is being done or not done or being misdone is done by the 2 or 3 people in the top. So the rest of them are just to speak out on why we are doing, why we are failing repeatedly. So I don't think it matters much.
ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಧ್ವನಿ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ.